We welcome former House Majority Leader Tom DeLay in a Fox Business exclusive. Welcome, sir, and thank you for being here.
Well, thank you, Liz. It's great to be with you.
So it's not just the names in the administration that are starting to be revealed and take shape. It's the actual agenda. You are very experienced in getting agendas either slid through or hammered through. Look, typically conservatives are looking at this saying, this is great. We have a Republican House, we have a Republican Senate, and a Republican president. This should be easy. Is it that simple?
No, it's not that simple. In fact, the lack of an agenda is the failure of the leadership in the Republican House and Republican Senate from 2010 till now. They never had an agenda. They didn't like agendas. And agendas is how you pull people together. I insisted always that we had an agenda every year for the upcoming year of the legislative session so that the members could work with the leadership and develop that agenda and have ownership of that agenda. And that keeps people united so that you don't have to break legs and arms when they get to the floor. They have ownership and they want to vote for these bills. Now, Paul Ryan has developed an agenda, and I'm very proud that he's doing it. He calls it the Better Way, betterway.com. And this is the first agenda since the Republicans took the House in 2010. And so that makes me feel like things are going to be going well. But the second thing is the House has to stand firm as a partner to President Trump, not as a rubber stamp.
Okay. I'm so glad you just put it like that, because there are multiple numbers of people who think this will be an easy sell. However, just for things like infrastructure, and of course we know that Elaine Chao is being floated for, has been picked for Transportation Secretary. Everyone's talking about this multi-billion-dollar, possibly $1 trillion infrastructure plan. And yet, Kevin McCarthy, who now has the job you had as House Majority Leader, looks at this, and he and many others have said, wait a minute, we have to be fiscally intelligent about this.
Right.
We cannot just spend crazily and then, well, we expect them not to tax, but they can't just spend crazily and then not find a way to pay for it, correct?
There's no way there's going to be a $1 trillion infrastructure program. Not with this conservative House. No way. They're not going to spend that kind of money. If they wanted to spend that kind of money on infrastructure, they would have voted for President Obama's stimulus package. The point is that, number one, there are constitutional considerations here. The federal government shouldn't run transit systems. The federal government has no business being involved in local airports. The federal government has no business involved in local streets. Now, the federal government has a constitutional duty for interstate highways and interstate transportation systems, and maybe you can make a case for airports. But the biggest problem, and you can get more money to be spent, is federal government regulations. Do you realize it takes 10 years from the conception of building a road to actually starting construction, only because of federal government mandating historical impact statements, environmental impact statements? You could increase spending by 40% and not blink an eye.
Well, that leads me to this, Congressman. Do you think that all of the announcements that Donald Trump, or the promises, I should say, sound a little ambitious for the first 100 days? Certainly changing Obamacare, cutting it back, if not repealing it, passing an infrastructure bill, trying to get a whole bunch of other issues through, along with what we see as a homeland security issue. We just had the situation at Ohio State University, which is certainly disturbing, too. Is it unrealistic? Is it too ambitious to think for the people who put him in office that so much will happen in the first 100 days?
No. There's going to be a lot happen. The repeal of Obamacare and a lot of other things are going to happen. But there are certain things that Obama has promised that he didn't understand or didn't have a grasp on, that just it's not going to happen. An infrastructure bill, you might get one, but it's not going to be $1 trillion of spending. And yeah, it'll be a lot less than that.
Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Listen.